Hi, I'm Scott. Welcome to Canard Boulevard. Today we're flying to Lancaster, Ohio to go to a Canard celebration at a museum. So I'm not quite sure what this is about. Apparently it's the 50th anniversary of Canard Aviation or something or other. Anyway, they said they had a couple Canards and asked if anybody with a Canard could also show up. It's only about a 40-minute flight for me here, so I'm going to go. It's actually quite busy here at the airport today. There's one of the local EAA chapters is doing their Young Eagles Day, so lots of traffic, lots of people. It's going to be an interesting departure out of here. So let's get the pre-flight done and get out of here. I did stop over at the FBO, and there was more cars parked here than I've ever seen before. Inside, it was packed with people all there for the EAA event. I had a look in the back room. They had some RC planes and RC simulators that they were letting the kids fly around on the simulators. Outside, they had people lined up and waiting to go on all the different airplanes they had. I think they had 2 or 3 airplanes giving rides that day, so it was great to see. So the actual footage that I took of this takeoff and the flight there didn't survive. I don't know what went on with my camera on this trip, but the only thing I actually got was the landings at the Lancaster, Ohio airport, and a little bit of the flight back. I didn't get a takeoff. I didn't get landings coming home. I don't know what was going on with the camera this day. It just was not behaving. However, coming into land at Lancaster, I did notice it was getting turbulent. As I got farther and farther south, when I left the Cleveland area, it was relatively smooth, but as I got farther and farther south towards Lancaster, I noticed it was getting way, way more turbulent. And as I got down low for approach here, it was downright gusty. I was getting tossed around, as you can see. The camera does stabilize it a fair bit, but I mean, even with a stabilization there, you can see I'm getting pushed around. And so I'm keeping the speed up because I don't know from which direction these gusts are coming. And of course, if I have a gust coming from behind me and my speed is not high enough, I can just fall out of the sky, which is generally not good. So I'm coming in here, I'm carrying some speed, which means I'm gonna float, and it's gusty and I'm getting blown around. So here I am floating down the runway, just waiting for the speed to bleed off so that I can touch down, and I'm gusting and gusting. There's a little bit of a crosswind, and now it's getting blown off the side of the runway, and I'm like, okay, nope, not doing this. Power up, go around. You can always go around and try another landing. Trying to rescue a landing that's going bad, you may be able to do it, but why would you risk bending your airplane just so you can look good for your ego or so instead just put the power up, go around, try a different approach, try maybe different speeds, better stabilization, and that's exactly what I did. I said this one's not going well. I'm eating up runway and I'm getting blown off center. I don't have the control authority and the speed remaining to get back to the center. I'm just not happy with how that landing was going, so I'm just going to, forget it. We'll just power up and go around again. No harm, no foul. So here we're coming in, landing my second attempt at Lancaster. I'm pulling the speed back a little bit because I don't want to float as much as I did last time. And now that I know what's going on down low towards the runway, I'm just going to plant it onto the runway. I'm not going to let it float. As soon as I get low near the runway, I just plant it right on there. And there we are, down and braking. So having that knowledge ahead of time that, hey, it's pretty gusty, there's a crosswind, you're going to blown around, that can help inform what you're going to do when you get down there. Now, if it was just a steady crosswind, I could have just landed crabbed into the wind, but it was not a steady crosswind. It was gusting all over. If you land crab and you don't get a gust from the side, now you're going to go off the runway again. So that's the reason I did a hard planted landing like you saw there. So there was a long easy parked there, so I knew I was in the right place. And then I pulled up and I could see a few Canards here. I didn't expect there would be a whole lot. I think they said there was going to be 2 or 3, and there was more than that. So I just parked down here at the end next to this long easy here and got out to have a look. So there's my plane. There's a long easy. There's another cozy. And here is a Defiant. I was very surprised when I pulled in here and saw this. And then here is lunch. Walking around inside the museum, I saw this yellow Long Easy up on the wall. Here we have a scaled
P-51, which was just sitting on display. I don't think this flies anymore. And then there was a U.S. World War II staff car next to, I believe, was a F-1 Folland. Not? Yeah, that's what this is, this jet here. I took a picture of the specs of this, so you can see here if you want to pause this and read through about this jet. Up on the wall, they had a soaring glider. And then down below, or actually hanging up next to it, they had an ultralight. And then down below, looks like, I think a Sopwith Camel replica. And we had a Stinson. And then I talked to the owner of this Cozy 3. He and his wife were there. They were a nice couple. And I caught them as they were taxiing out to leave. And just as they were taxiing out, this airplane taxied in. It's a Breezy, which was an interesting airplane. I didn't see it fly, but I did see it taxi in, and I got to talk to the owner a little while. It's an interesting airplane. It does carry 2 passengers, and it is pretty much as basic as it comes, and it is the definition of parasite drag. Had a look at this Long Easy as he was taking someone up for a flight, and then I went over and had a look at this Defiant, which was interesting and beautiful. The paint job was interesting. It does have updraft cooling on the front engine, which I was surprised about. If you don't need updraft cooling, why would you do it? The paint was extremely hot in the sun. That red color was, I don't know why he did that, but there's a reason why Bert advises not to paint things red. The inside of the cockpit, though, was just a work of art. The owner had bought this and ripped out the cockpit and redid it, and it really is just beautiful. State-of-the-art avionics, all Dynon with a Garmin GPS, and all the switch gear and the upholstery, just a beautiful work at the inside of the cockpit. Then they had a couple World War II trucks, and next to that, I'm not sure what this is, maybe a Chipmunk, and OV-10, I think that is, from Vietnam. I saw that Chipmunk, or whatever it was, taxiing out. And then it was time to go home. I don't have any of my takeoff or any of my landing. I have just a few seconds of my flight home. So if you enjoyed this video at all and like to see more like this in the future, please go ahead and click like on this video and subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified every time I post a new video. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or especially corrections, like whether that it was a chipmunk or not, leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.